Hello, it's Oren Prunken, and today I want to talk to you about how you can do exhibition stands and stalls really well. So over the weekend I went to the Royal Adelaide Show and I got free tickets to go along to this. Now, if you are not from South Australia, the Royal Adelaide Show is an agricultural fair, so it's got animals and food and rides and all kinds of things you'd see at a fair and or agricultural show. So I got these free tickets and I went along because I like to go and see the food and the animals. Now, normally to get in, it's about $25 per adult, and that's a really important point when discussing things like exhibition stands. Now, if you have to pay to get in, all of the people that are attending this fair are qualified buyers. They have already made a purchase to come in. So there is a couple important factors here. One of those being that they've already made a purchase and they are more likely to make another purchase. The second purchase is always easier than the first purchase, so it's already overcome those two barriers. But also they are in a buying mood as well. So when they come across things like rides and or exhibition stands, they are already pre-framed as being a qualified buyer. Now that's really important. So when I went to one of the pavilions where there was food stalls and exhibition stands, all of these food providers, and what I really liked about them, I'm going to go into that right now, is what they were all doing were giving out freebies of their products. So instead of putting all the risk back onto the consumer to go out and buy something and may or may not like it, they were giving out small samples. A really good option for all of these guys and girls to go and de-risk any purchases for sellers. Now, not everyone, for buyers, so not everyone who had a sample went and bought, but they were more likely to go and buy because it had been de-risked. They could try all these samples, and the things that they liked, they would then go and buy. Now, I don't know the numbers, I wasn't an exhibitor there, but all of these exhibitors would know their numbers, and I can guarantee you, just off the top of my head, it would have paid off very well for them, the amount of money that would have taken them to go and give away those samples compared to the return on that investment in terms of revenue coming in would have been far in excess of what the cost of it would have been. So they did that really, really well. Now, on the flip side, what I noticed that all of these exhibition stands didn't do so well was they weren't collecting any customer details. So of those that were purchasing, they weren't capitalizing on the amount of people that were buying and the amount of people that were actually in that pavilion. So if they had some sort of mechanism to follow up with those people, whether it is through digital messaging, it was through phone, it was through email, or it was through the post, whatever mechanism, no one was actually converting all of that paid and earned channels into something that would be an own channel. So the other thing that I noticed that they weren't doing so well is because they were all in this pavilion competing for the attention and the dollar of a potential customer by giving out freebies. They were all therefore competing on the same grounds. Everyone was giving away freebies. They didn't have any distinct branding that went around it, particularly around what they were offering. Yes, many of them had their corporate brands there, but people that were going in and taking samples aren't yet at that level of where they know what these brands are. They're only a kind of solution where the level, not a product awareness level, so they don't actually know the brands that are exhibiting there. What I would have done if I were them were taking down their corporate branding and then put up some generic branding of, free apples or free cheese that would then help qualify people that were just scanning the whole hall to see what they liked, because it's pretty overwhelming in terms of attention and getting people's attention. So dropping all of that corporate branding and putting some more generic branding up around what they were actually offering, because people only there were at problem and solution aware, but not product awareness. So that's what I would have done. But on the whole, the majority of these exhibition stands were doing really well. Now, I want to pull out a case study of an example of one that did something really, really well, and that was Bank SA. And it wasn't in the same pavilion that I went to. It was in a different area of the show. And what Bank SA had done was set up this experiential exhibition stand, meaning that it was a exhibition stand, but it was providing an experience. And what I mean by that was it was a tent, and in the tents they had the activity, experiential activity of going out and painting your own piggy bank. So what I think is genius about this is, so Bank SA is a financial institution, a banking institution that provides savings products, obviously, but because the Royal Show attracts a lot of families and children, they were offering the opportunity for kids to then go out and paint a piggy bank. And that painting of the piggy bank, first off, is attractive to kids, but also second off, it gets kids involved and in the activity of doing that. And what I mean by that is they are able to invest both their creativity and their effort into creating this product that they can then take home. And that product that they can take home therefore can also be used to use the product that Bank SA is also providing. In other words, putting dollars in and cents in to save. So they've created this product that they're already invested in there, involving in the actual product that Bank SA has created. So they are more likely to then go and continue when they're older to be a customer of Bank SA. Now, what Bank SA had done in that exhibition stand was they had two different lines, one for customers and one for non-customers. Now, I didn't go up and actually investigate any further, but what I guess is if you were a customer of Bank SA, they were able to link that physical a piggy bank to an already existing account or an account with a family member. And if you were a non-member, they were going to put you in the process of signing you up to become a member of Bank SA as a child. So you could then put all of that savings in there. So they're linking both the physical product to their service. So I thought that was really genius. Now, I don't know if that's what happened. As I said, I didn't go up and investigate it, but it reminds me a lot of the Dollarmite Commonwealth accounts that were around when I was a kid. So Dollarmite, for those that aren't familiar with what, was a program that Commonwealth Bank provided for kids in schools, that they gave them deposit books that looked like checkbooks, and you kind of felt, and I absolutely felt like, you know, I was an adult, a real big kid banking with these things, because it replicated what your parents would have. And what you do is you get $1, you know, a week or whatever you were able to save, and then you'd put it in this deposit book that looked like a checkbook, and then you would then go and put it into the bank. And apparently the stats are reflect that about 5% of those kids then went on to stay with Commonwealth Bank. And it's that concept is known from cradle to grave banking, that the lifetime value of having someone within your bank from, you know, young to old is phenomenal. So getting the customers in young is a really beneficial thing for the bank. So I think Bank SA did a really phenomenal job of combining exhibition stand plus an experience that also linked into their products and services. A really good way of marketing. So yeah, that were my observations for just floating around the Royal Adelaide Show for about an hour and a half over the weekend. Some really cool marketing stuff that I think is applicable in general just to everything that you're doing, but especially those that are going out and doing physical exhibition stands, and also combining experiences in real life of how you can engage a lot of people and get them involved in the buying process and also becoming a customer of your business. So hopefully that gives you a few ideas of what others are doing and doing really well, and how you could take some of the things they could improve on and implement that into all of the things you're doing in general, but also if you are doing things that are around exhibition stands. So I hope that was really useful to you, and until we talk next time, I hope you have a fantastic day, and goodbye.
Thanks for listening, and if you like what was on here and want more, please go to orenprunken.com.